Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I am a fourth year teacher that just recently moved from first to second grade, and today is a day in my life, Friday edition. If you're like me and you're a type A teacher, everything for next week has to be done by a Friday. I simply cannot feel good leaving and able to enjoy my weekend unless I know that I am prepped for next week. And this week was kind of an anomaly. Normally I'm scrambling on a Friday because we have so many meetings throughout the week, but I didn't have a prep meeting on Tuesday with my team, and I didn't have a staff meeting Wednesday morning with the whole staff. So I had like an hour and a half extra this week that really just helped me out. So let me tell you what I normally do each day. I find it best to delegate certain tasks to a certain day throughout the week to help me stay on track to be done by Fridays, and this is what I do. So Mondays, first day of the week, I typically like to look at the next week of Wonders. Wonders is a new curriculum to me. On Mondays, I like to look ahead and say, all right, what are we doing next week? Not only does that help me this week, knowing, okay, if I don't get to it this week, we're gonna keep working on it next week, but it's just a task that I find helps me. If I do that first, then everything else is easy. So for example, if I have an idea of what we're doing next week in Wonders, I know what I need to be printed, I know what I need to put in my lesson plans, I know what I need to put in my slides. Wonders is the biggest chunk of our day. Like we have a good hour and a half to 2 hour block in the afternoon dedicated to Wonders. So that's where most of my printing comes from. That's where a lot of my lesson planning is, because it's a curriculum that like you really do need to plan out what you're going to do each day, even though it tells you what to do each day. Sometimes we have to move things around or, lengthen out things that are harder for us or shorten things that are easy for us. Whereas like my math curriculum and my social studies and my science is pretty straightforward. So I like to get Wonders kind of planned on a Monday first. I usually just write down what we're gonna do whole group each day and what me and my ESL pushing teacher are gonna do small group each day. That is all I really do on a Monday as far as planning and prepping for the next week. There are other things that I do on a Monday. On Monday mornings when I get here, I will email out the new spelling list for parents. I will also send home our home connection letter in Wonders on Monday mornings. I will switch around desks and make a new seating chart if things from the previous week weren't working. So there are things that I do that help me be successful for that week, but I'm talking about how do I get prepped for the following week. So the first thing I do on Mondays is I prep for Wonders the week after. Tuesdays are my day that I figure out everything I need printed for the next week and I send it to my grade level IA. I am very lucky at my school. This wasn't something I had in my old school, where I have a grade level IA. She works with the whole second grade team. My day to have her in my classroom is a Friday, so I will send her all the printing on a Tuesday if the week is going well and I'm on track, so that she has that for Friday, so that before she even comes in my room and assists me, she's got that all printed. Honestly, I hate printing. Like I like finding the things that I need to be printed for the next week, but I hate the actual tedious task of printing, restocking paper, making sure things are double-sided, having hard copies. Like I do not like that. It's very tedious, but she does the printing for the whole entire grade level. So it's like, she's good at it, and she's been at the school way longer than me, so she knows the machines in and out. So that's a task that I sort of hand off to her, and then by Friday morning she has it all printed. Wednesdays are the day that I start to make my lesson plan, and I've showed y'all this before, but my lesson plans are super bare bones. Literally just, it's a little template for each day that tells me the special for that day, what lesson we're on in math, what we're doing in science or social studies that day, what I'm doing during my student support block, and then what unit, day, and week we are in for Wonders. It doesn't have gosh, compared to what I used to write for my first year lesson plans, it is so bare bones, but that's because I rely heavily on my slides. So I just wanna say, if you're a teacher that needs to be planned for the next week, if you're not using slides, this is a little plug, you should be using slides. They are so helpful and so easy once you get the hang of it. But this just reminds me, I can just do a little overview, like, all right, we're on lesson 2 today in math. I'm on day 3 of Wonders today. Like I can just look at it and get a quick overview. And then that also helps me make my slides, which is a Thursday or Friday task. So Wednesdays is the lesson planning day. Again, it's just a very brief overview. I'll write down and make note if we have any changes for the week. Like this week I wrote that at 2:15 on Thursday we had an assembly, or I wrote that, Wednesday was a half day. And then I will also make note of the specials and if it's anybody's birthday that day. Slides is the thing that takes up the most time. And I made a YouTube video saying that it normally only takes me 30 minutes. I should retract that statement because ever since I've started to be more detailed in my slides, it actually takes me probably anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. The bare bones of it takes about 30 minutes. So replacing out the morning messages for each day, the quiet time slides, the snack slides, the closing questions, like all those little things that I can just type right in. That probably takes me under 15 to 30 minutes. But adding all of the wonder slides in, that is really, I would say, what takes the most time. Thankfully, all of our math slides are pre-made, so we just pull them right off of iReady and plug them in. But adding all of the objectives sometimes takes some time. I try and put page numbers in my slides because we use a lot of different books in second grade. Our math book, our wonders books, we have 2. So I try and put in page numbers. So a lot of little tedious things that I've kind of vamped up in my slides that I didn't do in the past year. So slides are tedious, so I start them usually on a Thursday and then I finish them up on a Friday. Fridays are my day that I have the most prep. I don't have any meetings usually Friday morning, and I usually don't have any meetings during my Friday prep. So that's like the most time I have, whereas other days I have other stuff going on. So that's a breakdown of what I try and do every day so that I'm prepared for Friday. This week, like I said, I just had less meetings, like bizarrely. So it just worked out in my favor that I've already done all that this week. I mean, the printing was done by Tuesday. By Wednesday, I had my lesson plans and my slides done. Best I've ever been, let me tell you that. This is the most productive week I've had. So let me show you now what a teacher does on a Friday when she's all prepped for next week. What does a teacher do with all this time? I still have 20 minutes before the kids get here. I have a 45-minute prep and then another 45-minute prep today because I get an extra prep on Fridays when I have the grade level IA in here because they're trying to give teachers back time at my school because we have so many meetings, which we love. First thing I normally do on a Friday that helps me get set up for the next week that I didn't mention earlier is that I set up our next wonders wall. So I don't have to change anything out really that much from week 1 to week 2. It's when I go from like a week 2 to a week 3 or week 4 to a week 5, I have to change the whole board out. But today I'm just swapping a couple things from week 1 to week 2. So I'll show you what that looks like. I need to change the spelling pattern. So again, I just put them on the back. I like when they're double-sided, but I forgot to double-side them this time. So it's just 2 separate ones back to back, and then I have week 1 here, and I always try and turn it over to week 2 in the morning before the kids come because we do our spelling test in the afternoon, and if I don't flip it over, they'll all see the words. So I always flip over the spelling. That's something that changes from week 1 to week 2. We also have to change our high frequency words and our grammar. Everything else is already indicated that it's a week 1 and a week 2 skill, so those ones I don't have to change. Oh gosh. Oh. Do not try this at home. This is about when somebody would normally walk in on me, so this is great. Hey! I'm just documenting this in case I fall. Really quick, I was just talking to my grade level IA. She was the one that came in and spotted me on the table. I'm filming a sponsored video for Oriental Trading, so I'm opening up all my stuff because I have to film that this afternoon. So it's like top 10 teacher things to have in your classroom. They sent me Play-Doh. That's the first one. They sent me these zipper pouches. I love having these, so that's number 2. They sent me some chalk. I love chalk, especially in like the spring/summer when you go outside and do like writing and word work and stuff outside. These are like reward things where I write something on it and then I put the little scratch off over it. That's 4. This is a new whiteboard, like a little mini one, like kind of like this one that I have over here, but it's seen better days and it came with the classroom. So finally got my own. So this is number 5. 6 is any kind of cute stickers because those you can just give out all the time. 7 is bingo daubers. I love these. Got some new ones. 8 is new erasers for your whiteboards. These are really cute. They have little eyeballs on them. 9 is mini stress balls. These are good for like your Common Corner, your prize box, or whatever. And then 10, we needed a brand new sharpener because my kids destroyed ours and I am devastated. So I'm just quickly putting all this out so that later when I film the video, it's all accessible. Also, quick little plug for the shirt. My friend Shelby McDaniel made this. She's a teacher on Instagram and I will tag her down below so that you can get one because they're so cute. All right, it's 9:45. I have my prep right now. This is like my extra prep where like my kids are still in my classroom, but my IA covers it for me so that I can like have this extra prep. I don't really have much to do, so I'm just gonna grade the math quizzes that we just took. I'm super bummed because it should have been very straightforward. It was a measurement quiz and a lot of them still got things wrong, so we'll see how we did. And then I'm just going to take these things that I put on colored cardstock today and put them in binder sleeves. The first thing I always do before I even start to grade them is I pull up the correct answers on iReady, so I know how many points to grade out of. Usually it's out of 9 points, but I just want to make sure. And then I see what the correct answers are, and then I put them in number order so that when I'm done grading these, I can go make copies of them, and then I can put them in their mailboxes. I'm halfway through them, and so far I'm glad I checked, because this quiz is actually out of 6 points, which is like even lower. So it's like if they get 1 or 2 wrong, it's like it demolishes their score. But so far, most of them got a 6 out of 6, couple 5s out of 6, and then a couple 4 out of 6s, which like isn't great, but I'm glad that we're all at least still passing. The fastest I've ever graded a group of quizzes before, but it was really easy to grade out of 6 points, and we just took it, so like it was fresh in my brain. So I just did the math, and a 5 out of 6 is an 83, so technically they'd still pass, because like our definition of passing is an 80 or above. And then if they got a 4 out of 6, which was the lowest I got, they got a 63, I think. Was it 63 or 67? 4 out of 6 is a 67. So they got a 67. So on each kid's paper, I just wrote like how many points out of 6 that they got. And then I am putting it into our spreadsheet. I keep a Google spreadsheet of each quiz and the grade, and then I color code it. So if they get over an 80, they get a green. If they get a 70 or above, they get yellow. And if they get under a 70, they get red. This will definitely be our best average. After I write all the scores and then I plug them in, I like to, at the bottom, see what our class average was. Usually it's not very good, because math is like definitely our hardest subject. So I'm like kind of excited to see what the average is this time. The fact that I came in here at 9:45 and it's 10 o'clock and it just took me literally 15 minutes to grade all of those and input the grades is like literally amazing. Let's see what our class average was. A 92%. Guys, we've never had that good of a score. I understand that it's measurement and it's kind of like an easier topic, but wow. I am just so thrilled for us. I love it. So out of the class, we had 4 kids get a 67, we had 2 get an 83, and the rest all got hundreds. So 14 hundreds and an average score of a 92. We've never, just to be transparent, our last quiz average was a 72, so that's an immaculate jump. I'm gonna go make copies of these because I still have 30 minutes left. I've now had 2 kids come to the library to return a book and just give it to me because the library teacher's still not here. I don't know where she is. Normally when I'm in here on a Friday, she's in here and we usually just kind of hang out together. She's wonderful and she doesn't mind me like taking over her space in here on a Friday for 45 minutes. So, but she's not here today. So it's kind of been me, which is fun because I get to vlog this. I'm just putting in these colored cardstock activities that I showed y'all earlier into these binder sleeves. I don't actually have a binder for them, unfortunately. I've run out of binders, I've used them all, but I'm going to get a binder so that I can keep all these in a nice convenient spot. All right, y'all, it is the end of the day and I totally forgot that I was vlogging during my prep and my lunch. So many apologies, but just to show you kind of what I did during that time, I prepped our Write the Room activity for next week. So I just wrote all of our spelling words on some sentence strips. I also prepped an antonym and a synonym activity that we are going to be doing next week. And then to be completely transparent, I used the rest of the time to finish this book. I just have never literally had so much time that by a Friday I was done and didn't really have anything else to do. I was trying to think of things to get ahead, but I just couldn't. And now I'm gonna shoot my content for Doodle Jams. I'm gonna shoot my content for Festive Gal, which I forgot about today. She sent me these two headbands. One says happy last day of school, so I don't really need to do one with that yet, but this one says queen of the classroom. I thought it would go really well with this shirt today. And then I need to film my content for Rachel treating. Also, before I go, I am just going to quick send a couple emails out to a couple families for things that happened today that I just feel like they should know. So we're gonna do that as well. All right, my ring light just died, so it was perfect timing. It is 3:48. I'm just 3 minutes after when I wanted to leave. So we are taking off our queen of the classroom crown. We are packing up our stuff and we are going home. Thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And feel free to also let me know what you guys want to see next. I've been doing a lot of day in the lives, a lot of teacher related content, but if you ever want me to switch it up, just let me know in the comments. All right, love y'all. See you next time.